This meeting is being recorded.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Garrett, what's up, dude? Michael, what's up? Hey guys, I am
What's
gonna.
good?
If you are not muted, please mute yourself. We got a lot of people on here. We're live, so I can hear kids and fun things in the background, which I love that we're doing life, guys. I love that we all have pets and children and things that we do. But we want to be able to focus, and I got to be able to have my volume on in case I need anything here. So, sweet. We're going to be letting people in here for a couple of minutes. A lot of extremely familiar faces that I am pumped to have in our inner circle community. Garrett, Catherine, Arturo, Cody, what's up, guys? Seeing some very familiar faces. Kaylee, if we haven't already, can we get an email blast out that we are live too as well? Sweet. Thank you. Guys, I don't know this for sure, but I might be coming down with a cold. So please bear with me if I seem just a little bit off and not quite as energetic as I normally am. I always like to say I don't like being sick, so I don't do it for very long. That's like it's been my saying for years. So I'm gonna invite that. What's up, Nick? Good to see you, dude. I'm gonna see if I can sound like you on these calls today. That's my goal. For those of you that don't know Nick, this guy is an absolute savage on the phone. So I'm just giving him some mad props here. But we'll get kicked off here in just a minute. Just a minute. Just waiting for people to get trickled in. Appreciate you guys being on here. So the format for today, if you don't know, if you weren't reading the emails and the messages and everything we had going out, is people that are in the inner circle actively submitted leads for me to call back. These were leads that they had that for whatever reason didn't get inked up for a contract. So today I'm going to be calling them and we're going to see who I can get locked up. The terms of this are people in my community. I'm letting y'all keep 100% of the deal if we get it locked up. If you're on here live and it is your team, like I might just try to give you an alley-oop of like, hey, I'm going to have Garrett on my team call you back here in 5 minutes to go through the agreement instead of me trying to do that, just depending on how it goes, you know? So we'll see. I'm going to take it just kind of deal by deal, depending on the person, depending on how it all plays out, that sort of thing. People are still trickling in, which is good. While we're waiting for just a couple more people, I'm gonna spend 2 minutes on, there we go. Some quick announcements. So, first one is if you haven't heard, we're doing the Land Scaling Summit again here in Dallas. So September 19th and 20th, we are going bigger this year. We'll have 125 people is kind of what we're gunning for. Maybe up to 150, we'll see. But should be a lot of fun. Finalizing our lineup right now. Jennifer, good to see you. But it is going to be an awesome group of people out here. We're going to be very focused on all things scaling in the land space, in the distressed acquisition space, just a little bit of everything. And so, yeah, we're going to be doing
a 2-week inspection period.
Throwing stuff up. And guys, if you are not muted, please mute yourself. Let's see here. Okay, awesome. So Land Scaling Summit. Kaylee, did you already drop the link in the chat? If not, if you could, that'd be awesome. And then number 2 is the inner circle. I feel like probably half of you in here are already in, which is awesome. If you are not, we are raising prices next month. So I've been gradually doing it over time as more and more people join because I'm trying to keep it so that we don't have too many people join at once. We're a little overwhelmed with how many people want to join right now. So that's always a sign to raise some prices. So May will be the last time we got rates at this price. If you are interested, drop something in the chat, say interested, say LCA for Land Closers Academy. I don't think we've got a calendar link ready. We might be able to have one by the end of the call if you want one. And if so, Jacob on my team should be reaching out to you. Jacob, I think, is on here as well. Sweet. Jennifer said, if you get a deal closed today, I'm signing up for the conference. Okay, if you say so. If I have to, Jennifer, just promise me you'll actually come this time, because last year you bought a ticket and you couldn't make it out, and we missed you. I'll never forget how heartbroken I was when I looked at the check-in table and just saw your name tag and no you. So, all right. With that, we got over 50 people in here live, which is awesome. I'm sure more people will be trickling in. I'll try to pencil you all in. That's amazing. And then what mic am I on? Am I on? Check, check, check. Am I on the right mic or am I on my MacBook? Okay, hang on, guys. Give me one sec. Microphone. No, we're good. Sweet. So I will be dialing just on like my phone on open phone here. And I've got this external mic so that it actually gets picked up. We are indeed, oh shoot. We are indeed recording. Kaylee, am I able to make you co-host or something so that you can let people in? Do you know?
We tried this before.
Yeah, I
and
think
it didn't work.
Lets you be.
I can come off. Well, I guess even if I came back as you, you're still like the meeting person. So
yeah, that's all good. That's all good. Okay, sweet. Before I get kicked off, any questions on anything here? Cody said, "I thought Ajay was cracking a beer." No, it's just a little sparkling water, man. That's hilarious. No, I tend to not drink beer at 2 p.m. on a Thursday during a webinar. It's like not my choice of time of drink. That's hilarious though. Could you imagine if I just had like a Bud Light right now? Sweet. All right, so I got some leads in here. I'm gonna pull up my acquisition script on this screen. I'm using the same script that I give all you guys for free. If you don't know, check it out in the Skool community. We can drop that link in the Zoom chat as well. Any questions for me as we're getting kicked off here, or do we just start dialing? Sweet. Kaylee, did I miss any announcements? Land Scaling Summit, we're raising prices. We love everybody here.
that's it. That's it. Summit link is at the top of the chat.
Summit link is at the top of the chat. Please, please, please mute yourselves. Please, please, please mute yourselves. Sweet. All right. With that, let's go. Art, you on here? Yeah, okay, sweet, man. I got your leads up top, dude. So let's have some fun here. The one thing I forgot to pull up, guys, that I meant to is I just want to make sure I have Land Insights up. This call today is sponsored by, no, I'm just kidding. I do love the Land Insights team, but we are not sponsored today by them, but I do use them for a ton of stuff. So it's nice when I can check out stuff and look at the properties. So just getting logged in, but you know what? We'll go ahead and start making calls. Shall we? You guys ready for me to start making dials? You guys want me to start making dials? Is that why you all came? Okay, cool. I'm gonna do that then. Sweet. Let's lock it up. I probably will not leave until I have at least one verbal today. So let's see how this goes. Cool. Hey, Larry, it's Ajay. Did I catch you at a bad time? Not really. Okay, cool. Well, my name's Ajay. You chatted with somebody on my team a ways back. It was with your 14-acre property out there in Tennessee. Yeah. So I'm looking back here in my notes, and it looks like we had chatted a ways back. Either something got lost in the shuffle, or maybe we had a personnel change, but it looked like we may not have been able to come to terms here. So I'm just picking that up on my end and trying to, call our folks back and see if there's something we can do. I mean, can I ask, are you still in any interest in selling that property out there?
I mean, I would sell it. I'm not trying to sell it.
Right. I understand. And most people we work with aren't always trying, I think we send out some messages and some calls, and some people tell us, sure, go ahead and give us a call back. So can I ask, I mean, if I might need to get a little bit of information here, but if I put an offer in front of you, is that something that would be interesting to you where you might actually sell?
It's a good offer.
Okay. Well, here,
Watch a movie.
I'm trying to, let's see here. Just look back at the notes again. I don't have everything in front of me. Would it be okay if I asked just a couple of quick questions before I got into an offer? I'll ping the team and see what that number looks like as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Can I ask, are you local? For some reason they don't have your address in here, and they usually do. Okay, got it. Okay, so is that a property you were using for some hunting out there, or what were you doing with that originally?
That's what I use it for.
Okay, nice.
That's what I use it for. I don't use it much anymore.
Oh, okay. Do you not go out hunting too much anymore? Or what's stopping you from going out there?
I'm lazy.
Understood. Okay. I hear
I
ya.
let some other boys hunt it. I don't.
Okay, got it. And did you go out there by yourself when you were hunting, or do you have some buddies, or you said you went out there with your boys?
Boys mainly.
Okay, gotcha. Can I ask? I know it's not really my business, but when was the last time you guys went out there and used it?
Oh, me myself.
Yep,
It's probably been 5 years.
5 years. Okay, that's a good chunk of time.
And I've been out there. I mean,
Right.
I don't use it.
Right. And is this something that are they still using it actively, or is it mostly just kind of sitting there and you head out there when you feel like it?
Well, it's sitting there. I feel like it. Like I said, I've got buddies hunt it, and they hunt it in the fall, but that's it.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. All right. Um, can I ask too? I mean, what else do you do for fun out there when you're not using it? What's taking up your time these days?
Oh, out there, I don't use it anymore.
Right. I'm saying, what else do you do when you're not using it?
Oh, I'm retired. We travel.
Oh, okay. You going anywhere fun? Are you more of a in the States traveler or out of states traveler?
It's mostly our state.
Okay.
We've got trips planned down in Lower Alabama here next week.
Okay. All right.
Florida, so.
Like Gulf Shores, or what are you doing?
Yeah, we're going to go shores here.
Okay, nice.
Next week.
That's great. I've heard it's real pretty. I've not been to the Gulf Shores myself, but I got some good friends out in Mobile that say they really like that area. So would you recommend it as a vacation spot?
Oh yeah, Mobile's somewhere, yeah.
Okay. All right. What's that drive for you?
Well, it's about 7-8 hours.
Oh, that's not too bad. Okay.
No, it's not bad.
Okay. And on that vacation, is that usually just you and your wife, or do you guys bring the kids too?
No, my kids are grown.
Okay. Grown, like they don't want nothing to do with you, or they're just too busy in their own lives?
No, actually, one of my kids will be coming down later that week.
Oh, okay.
To stay with us.
That'll be fun then. That'll be fun. Okay. Cool. And look, I know you mentioned you're not looking to actively, sell the property. But out of curiosity, I mean, if you were to sell it, would you guys be looking to get something down in Lower Alabama, or is it more so just
No, we're staying where we're at.
you're staying where you're at? Okay. So it'd just be more so you're already retired, just more cash in the bank, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay. Wouldn't buy anything fun with it or take another trip anywhere to celebrate.
No, probably not.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I mean, it sounds like you guys got some good travel on the books, so probably not necessary then.
No.
All right.
Yeah, no,
All right. Well, can I ask, Larry, how long you been married?
46 years.
46 years. Congratulations. The reason I'm asking is next month is my my 1 year anniversary with my wife, Erin. So whenever I chat with folks that I can tell been married for a while, I always like to ask, you got any good marriage advice for a newlywed?
Just say yes.
Just say yes. Okay. All right. I hope that gets us well over 40, but I always like telling her what I hear too. So I appreciate that. And I guess after 40 years, if we were to come to terms here today, Larry, and we work something out, I mean, is this something you and your wife would talk about together in terms of selling the property, or have you had any conversations about that before?
She don't care.
She don't care. Okay. So if we're able to work something out, she's okay if you're okay.
We don't use it, yeah.
Okay. And then if we talk through some numbers and we liked stuff, is there anything stopping you guys from wanting to sell in, say, the next somewhere between 45, 90 days, something like that? That'd be fine. Okay. All right, cool. Okay. Well, that makes sense. And then I'm not sure if you remember, I know it's been a little bit since you've chatted with us, but do you remember anything on our company over at D&D of just
No.
how we operate? That's okay. Would it be okay if I took 60 seconds just to explain it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, I mean, the short of it is, we pride ourselves in customer service. So my goal, Larry, is to make this the easiest transaction you've ever done, right? So we're not taking any commissions. We're not realtors. Our offer is a cash offer for the property, and we like to keep our agreements super simple so anyone can read them, right? If you list with a realtor, which I'm sure you bought and sold property over your years, they got those fancy 10-page listing agreements. We just like to keep them down to 1 or 2 pages, depending on whatever we talk about. So super easy. We like to close in 90 days or less, just depending on, what due diligence needs done. Are there driveways out there? Do we need to get a perk test? How wooded? Do I need a bush hog? That kind of stuff, right? And then typically we're using regular title companies, just like you're used to in your area, right? So nothing too out of the ordinary there. Do you have any questions on any of that?
No.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm taking a look in my notes here, and I did get a ping back from the team. It does look like for properties out in this area that this is just under 15 acres, right?
Right.
Okay, and it looks like
14.6 or something like that.
14.6. Do you guys have an active survey on that by chance?
I got a survey. It's still years old.
Okay, all right. And I don't need it right now. I'm just more so curious. I mean, you know how it is with acreage. Sometimes we've bought some stuff that ends up being 1 or 2 acres off, depending on how a survey comes back. So if you've had one, that at least gives me some peace here. But we are seeing, yeah, okay. We are seeing, it looks like for properties at, that 14 to 15 acre range, investors are paying somewhere between, it looks like 40 to 50,000 for properties like these. I mean, what would you say to an investor if we made an offer like that?
I wouldn't buy it.
Say that again?
That wouldn't buy it.
That wouldn't buy it?
No.
Okay.
I have to have at least 55 out. I have to have at least 55 out.
At least 55 out of it. Okay. And is that because of what you put into it, or what specifically at 55?
No. That's just what I think it's worth.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I've had some offers for that, but I've turned it down.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Well, I know you mentioned, your wife would generally just work with you. I mean, I can't promise this. I have to send a message here. But Larry, if I could convince the team to, write up an agreement here at 55,000, would there be anything that stops us from working together?
No, I'll look over the agreement.
Okay. Okay. And just making sure so I understand. Again, our agreement's real simple. That basically what I would do is I would ping the team. If we get the go ahead, I would have probably Wesley on my team just give you a call to answer any questions about the agreement. Again, we keep them so simple and they're one page. We answer any questions. As long as you don't have any issues with it, we just go ahead and start the process, get it into title so we can start doing due diligence on our end. And then if you do have questions about it, obviously either myself or Wesley or Art on our team would be happy to answer those. But that's basically what our next steps look like if everything looks good. What do you think our best next steps are here?
I'll be happy to leave an offer if you get it.
Okay. Okay. Would you be willing? I know you mentioned you're retired, but I don't want to assume that means you've got free time. Would it be okay if I just put you on a quick hold to ping my team and see if we could get to that 55,000?
Yeah, I respect the call. She can send me an email or whatever. Like, do it that way.
Okay.
If you can, send it on my email and I'll look it over.
Yep.
My email is Larry C. Patterson.
Larry C. Patterson.
At Comcast.net.
Okay, gotcha. And I'll have my team go ahead and send that over electronically then as soon as I get the green light. And then is it okay if I just have Wesley give you a call to go through the agreement together?
Yeah.
Perfect. And then is this afternoon generally pretty available for you, or what does that look like?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well then, yeah, I'll chat with the team. Is this a cell phone number I'm calling you on?
Yes.
Okay, I'll probably shoot you a text and just let you know when it's en route, and you can let me know if you've received it. Assuming that you have, Wesley will follow up with you, walk you through it, and if there's no questions, I'm looking forward to working together here, Larry.
All right.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Any other questions I can answer before we get off the phone here?
No.
All right. Well. All right. This is my direct line. So if you have any questions for me, you let me know, but I'll plan to shoot you a text here in the next 5 to 10 minutes, letting you know whether we get the approval or not at 55.
All right.
All right. Appreciate your time, Larry. You have a blessed day. All right. Bye-bye. All right. Jennifer, I will see you at the unconference. That was fun. All right. So, and guys, obviously these leads that were submitted, I encourage people to submit some pretty good leads that ghosted. Okay. The reason for that being like, I'm trying to display what potential objections could have looked like. I'm not sure where we fizzled out here. Arturo, you're on here, right? Where you at, dude? You want to come off mute for a sec? Is Wesley on here too? And okay, sweet. What's up, dude? Okay, so you heard all that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You guys had offered 55 in the past, so I figured I was authorized to go ahead and just get right back there. Is that fair, Arturo? Are you good with that? Sweet. So can you guys go ahead and draft up that agreement right before you send it out? Just go ahead and drop a little ping in the Zoom chat. From a sales process perspective, guys, I want you to see what we're doing in real time here. Draft it up like ASAP Rocky. You let me know before you hit send. I'll shoot him a text just asking for confirmation once he's received it. When I get that text back, I'll try to coordinate with you guys so Wesley, you can get back on the phone and walk through the agreement. Sound good?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Sweet. All right.
Can you take care of it?
Yes, I got it.
Sweet. Arturo's like, dude, I'm just cashing checks, man. Wesley, you got it, right? Okay, sweet. I'm reading through the comments here. I'm catching up. Ajay, when you tell the seller this is what others are paying, is that the actual number market value or is it closer to 50%? I mean, it really just depends, man. Everyone's investing strategy is different. Usually on my first offer, I'm going to go somewhere between like 40 and 55% of market value. That's just like what flip prices are these days. So it just kind of depends. And it just allows us to get some feedback is really what we're doing, right? John said, is this a buy outright or is this a DC? That's an Arturo question. I'm going to be honest. I saw a number in a spreadsheet and I stuck with it. So I'm not 100% sure. Janet, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Cody said, if we get to it, please skip. Oh, okay. Is this a lead you submitted, Cody? You no longer want me to follow up with? Is that what you're saying? Kaylee, could you just mark it red in the spreadsheet the same way I did with that other lead up top? Also, guys, I'm going to take a quick immunity shot. I don't know if you've done these before. They're like the ginger and turmeric ones. I told you I might be catching a cold, and I don't like getting sick, so I don't do it for very long. And so I asked my friend to pick these up, and now we're here. So cheers. If anybody else has something, I see Brian, you're munching away right now. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Those juice shots are awesome. I agree, Catherine. These things are great. But man, they are like weird kind of spicy. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, Wesley, just let me know once that agreement's out, man, because I want to make sure we can manage this thing. It would be insane if we got it signed before the end of the call. So like let's try to get it. He said on it now. Okay, sweet, man. Arturo, I'm probably not gonna call the other lead you submitted. I don't know, that'd be kind of sick, man, if we just got you 2 deals today. I'm like going back and forth. What is it, 224? I want to make sure some other people's leads get some love. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Reggie.
for sure, man, for sure. Let's keep playing. Here, let's see. Anybody have any good takeaways from that as you were listening in?
You were just so personal, like just digging into, seeing how long he was married, asking for advice. Like I love that. Just getting super personal with these guys.
For sure.
I need to do that for sure. A lot more.
Yeah, I think the biggest reason people ghost is they feel like it's transactional or China. And like, I hate saying it, but anybody here that's on the phones knows that that's a real thing, especially if you're doing any deals in the South. It's just a reality is a lot of landowners don't want to sell. Yeah, see, Emily said it's so real. It is. I hear it all the time. I know at least once when I've been live streaming, if I call leads in Texas or Oklahoma, I always get it. Southeast is pretty common as well, like some Georgia, some I haven't gotten it as much in Florida, but Jennifer said, you look a little extra scratch. What does that mean? We are in the market for a closer.
I meant to say you looking to make a little extra scratch.
Okay. That's all good. That's too funny. I like how you phrased it as other investors are paying. Yeah, and I've actually got that, guys. Again, if you don't have my script, use my script. If Dan Larson is on here, he's somebody that's been a part of our community pretty much since the beginning. And he went from like 2 or 3 contracts a month to like 8 almost overnight. And the only thing he changed was using our script. So seriously, like I am not saying I need you to read off of it word for word, but like it is a framework. Yeah, Nick Staley is a perfect example. That dude had 1 week where he locked up 7 contracts in 1 week. Sandra, you guys can find the script in the Skool community. So the free Skool community has all that stuff in there for free. DK wants to know, how can we be a part of this in the future? So I don't know if I'm ever going to do this again. I will say though, it was a fun idea I had of I just wanted to call my clients leads. If you didn't think you were getting an ROI before, you definitely are now. And so it was really just any leads that you feel like are on the fence. I'm going to show you what it looks like to close and hit some sales process. Jennifer said, never say never. Hey, if we have a really good show today and this gets people real excited, like I'm an easy sell. Like I can be convinced to do a lot of things. And I can't believe we have 80 people on here right now that are on here to listen to me make some sales calls. But welcome, everybody. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was a question or not. Will, I see your hand raised. If your hand's not up, you didn't drop a comment, maybe put yourself on mute just because I saw some background noise. So if you're not talking, put yourself on mute.
I did. So it wasn't me
Will.
speaking, but I did have a quick question.
Oh, okay, yeah, what you got, man?
So you did an amazing job of building rapport.
Thank you.
But it seemed like, so my question is.
But
Be in there? No, you're building on the sofa.
So you mentioned that he was offered 55K by the team last time.
Yep.
I guess my question is like, how would you, and it seemed like he just wanted to get you to send the agreement over. There wasn't really any like urgency behind, hey, like, let's get in front of you right now, let's go over it. Like on that next call, how would you kind of like go through, just like get the agreement in front of him, like in real time, just so that, you don't get ghosted again. Cause like, the team already made that 55 offer. So just wanted to kind of get some.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this, guys. We're going to talk sales process real quick, and then I promise I'll make more dials. Okay. So when I get a verbal, I'm doing a couple of things depending on where that is, right? This is a little weird because it's not my internal team that's doing this. It's me on the phones and 50 teams on here that all have submitted leads basically. And so what I'm doing is I'm introing the next person. I'm setting timeline expectations of how quick this is going to go. Hey, are you around this afternoon? Okay, I'm going to shoot you a text as soon as this thing is out. Text me back confirmation once you've received it, right? And then ideally, Wesley, who's the AM on that team, is back on the phone with them as soon as possible, as soon as we have confirmation that he's received it, right? So what we're doing there is we're setting expectations that we're going to go over this together. And I said that to him on the phone. Hey, typically what happens next year? So we're walking through next steps. Now, Will, there's a piece here of some people that like, there are some objections that are hard to overcome on a call, right? So let's say he did need to talk to his wife and I couldn't overcome the objection for whatever reason. Okay. Here's how I'm going to set the expectation differently is I'm going to say, hey, Mr. Larry, I understand you need to talk to your wife and she's out today. Can I ask you one thing? Yeah, go ahead. Can you just make me a promise? Okay, and this is what we call the promise close. Can you just promise me that after you guys have a conversation, you and I can have one more conversation tomorrow, just so I understand what your wife's feedback is and know what I could have done better? Okay. And the reason I do it that way is now when somebody promises me another call, like it is almost a guarantee that we're going to get back on. And now I have the ability to reclose them if there's a different objection. Right. So there are things you do to set up like a positive, negative. Again, I look at all of this through math. And like mathematically, the biggest reason we lose deals and people ghost us is we don't set good expectations, right? So like I need to do everything I can to stop people from ghosting us and not hitting that next step essentially. Okay. Does that make sense, Will?
Absolutely.
Sweet, man. Great question. Sweet. Okay. And normally, guys, this is exactly what we do in our Monday calls every Monday. Like if you guys are in the inner circle, I don't always call your leads. That's not something we do every week. We go over your calls and do call reviews and I give you feedback, but we're going over closable deals. We're getting stuff to the finish line. I'm listening to your calls and giving you feedback so you're not hitting the same problems over and over again. But anyways, this stuff's a lot of fun. Let me hit somebody else. So does anybody else have any other questions here? And people keep trickling in. I cannot believe we have 83 people live. What is up, everybody? Welcome. This is fun. Cody, I think I'm going to look at a couple of yours you submitted, man. We got anything good in here?
I have the one that Maria submitted today, Tristan.
Oh,
I don't know if it came in today.
Somebody is not on mute. If you guys could please get on mute. Okay, it was Mr. J. I'm putting you on mute, man. Okay, cool.
I don't know if that if you see Tristan there, that would be my priority just because we talked to him most recently. We just can't get him to sign. But he basically agreed
to talk to his wife and then he ghosted us. I see it. Yeah, I see the note. Okay.
Just trying to get him on the phone is the hardest part. So that may be a tough one.
Yeah, and he's a Texas lead, which is great. I'm calling from a Dallas number, so I'll do my best. I can't guarantee he answers. Okay, let's give him a call. His name's Tristan.
He does have some other land too that we were trying to get information on. Like a 65 acre somewhere else if you happen to have that in your conversation.
Okay. I don't, but I can try to get out of him. Excuse me. Okay. And then Cody, just out of curiosity, what's this thing worth? I think I see you made an offer around 70.
It was previously listed by a family member at like 700,000. I think he inherited it. So I don't know if he just figured that out and decided not to, but I think it would probably, it's like a residential lot that you could potentially do a subdivide on for development, but like an entitlement type thing.
Okay.
I think maybe 250 to 350, and that's just really rough, based on it being a very specific type of property, like an infill type lot.
So what I'm gonna do here, who was the last person on the phone?
Maria's been calling him. I don't know if she got him on the phone. I think she may have got him on the phone once, but it was a bad time. I got him on the phone in a meeting last week. Yeah.
Okay. And then did you introduce yourself as the owner?
I don't remember if I had time to. I think I did. I think he said he was working with Maria. Yeah.
Okay. And the reason I'm asking, guys, is sometimes I do like a post-survey call with my team internally. So those in the inner circle know what I'm talking about. But like if I have an acquisition manager who doesn't get the deal closed or like the seller ghosts, what I'll do is I'll call off my personal number and I'll be like, hey, Cody, it's Ajay. I'm calling because we have a new person on our team, Veronica, who you've been chatting with. Veronica's been on my team for 2 years, but they don't need to know that, right? I just wanted to call and see would you be open to like a 3 to 4 minute customer survey, basically for me to understand how the interaction was, right? And now it's like a less invasive conversation. So I'm just trying to figure out my angle here, Cody, is all. We're just gonna hit this. I have no idea what's gonna come out of my mouth. Wish me luck.
Good luck. Appreciate it.
Sweet.
Hi, this is Tristan with Takeo Farms. Sorry I couldn't answer the phone.
See this guy on a farm? We're gonna at least double dial. I mean, we're live, guys. If I don't double dial, who am I? You know what I mean?
Hi, this is Tristan with Takeo Farms. Sorry I couldn't answer the phone. If it's an emergency.
I'm sorry, Cody. Couldn't get him.
It's okay.
Yeah, well, we may try back a little bit later, but let's keep rolling. All right, guys, I'm just gonna start kind of moving down the list here a bit. Let's see. Oh, this will be fun. Oh. I shouldn't cherry pick. I just need to go dial. Here, I'm gonna pick one that was a little bit of a price objection and just see what we can come back to. Wish me luck. I want to play the negotiation game a little bit.
Can I help you?
Hey, Marlene, it's Ajay. Did I catch you at a bad time?
No, I'm driving.
Okay. Do you have a little bit in the car?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hands-free.
Okay, perfect. Well, be safe. I don't need you getting in any kind of a wreck here. Hey, Marlene, I'm reaching out about, I know you had chatted with my team about a 15 acre in Lackawanna County that you own. You remember that conversation at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to call because I am actually one of the owners of the company, and just wanted to see how the conversation went with one of the new folks on our team we're training. Basically, would it be okay if I just ask you a few questions about your experience with them?
Sure.
Okay, great. So I'm looking at my notes here. It looks like you chatted with Jake on our team a little ways back. Does that ring a bell?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And I want to ask, I mean, did you guys have an appointment or did he just call you out like I did?
I don't recall.
That's okay. And did he clearly, identify himself as a professional land buyer from the team?
He did.
He did. Okay. And was he able to answer any questions about like the process and fees and commissions and all that kind of stuff?
He answered all the questions I had.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. And I appreciate you taking some time. How did the conversation go at a high level?
It went good. He was very knowledgeable and polite and explained everything, so it went good.
Okay, good. And then were you guys able to work something out, or how did that play out?
No, he said the highest you could go is 105, I think it was, and I said, well, at least 125. The one front lot will go for 40,000 easy, and then there's all the property in the back. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. That's too bad. Was it, and just so I understand, was it really just price? Was that the only reason we weren't able to work together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Well, I know, would it be okay if I just asked you a couple questions? I don't know that we can get you more or not, but could I, he normally takes really good notes on this one. I just don't see a bunch. Would it be okay if I ask some questions you've probably already answered since you are driving?
Sure.
Okay, great. And you let me know if you got to run. But for starters, before we had reached out, I mean, did you already have any interest in selling that property?
Oh yeah, I do. I have interest. I have a hunting group that's interested in it. Yeah, I'm interested.
Okay. And when you say you have a hunting group that's interested, are you saying you run a hunting group, or you have a hunting group that's like leasing this from you that wants to buy it, or what did you mean?
It's a hunting association that is looking into buying it.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. And then you were considering selling before they had hit you up, or was that conversation kind of the catalyst for you wanting to sell?
No, I've been wanting to sell it, but just kind of, I have a lot of other things going on right now in my life, so.
Okay.
It's on the back burner.
No, I understand. Life gets busy. Is it a good busy or a bad busy? What kind of busy are we talking?
Well, a little bit of both. Busy with work and just busy with family ties and such. So.
Gotcha.
Time consuming.
Absolutely. I know it's none of my business, but am I allowed to ask, what do you do for work? Is it anything fun?
Well, I'm in sales.
Oh.
Services.
Okay.
And I'm a registered nurse, so I do that.
Wow.
Very part-time.
Okay, so you keep yourself very busy then.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I can understand why this has not been able to be a priority then. So that makes sense. Okay. Well, I mean, can I ask? I know you said you've been interested in selling for a while. Is that just because you're like done with the property? Are you not using it anymore, or like what's going on there?
No, it's just vacant, land.
Right.
It's been in the family for years. My father purchased it quite a few years back, and it's just been sitting there.
Okay. Do you ever go out to it? I know you said it's family land. I'm not sure. Did you guys farm it, or were you hunting on it, or what have you done with it historically?
No, we would hunt on it.
Oh, okay. Nice. And that includes you? Did you grow up hunting then?
Oh yeah.
Like deer, birds, rabbits? What do you guys normally do?
Deer mainly.
Okay. What was the biggest hit you ever got?
9-pointer with a 17.5-inch spread. And all the guys were mad at me.
Oh, I bet they were, but hey, you had the trophy, so there we go. That's too fun. Okay, and so are you just no longer an active hunter then?
No, I'm not. My brother passed away in November, and he was my hunting buddy. So, now we're kind of done hunting.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. That's no fun.
No, it wasn't. It's been a tough year for me. So.
I'm sure. And it sounds like you keep yourself busy doing other things too.
Oh yeah, that I do.
Okay, gotcha. And then in terms of like selling, is that mostly just because you're just not going to do anything with it anymore? Or it sounds like you're pretty active from like a income perspective. Are you trying to invest this in something, or what's your goal?
Not sure yet. I have a couple different options on the table, but I'm not quite sure just yet.
Okay, anything I should get in on?
No, not really. I'm looking to wind down all the way around and
Okay.
possibly move out of the area. But
Oh,
we'll
really?
see.
Okay. Have you been in this area for a long time?
All my life.
All your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's 45 and raining right now, and I'm tired of playing golf in the rain and cold. So I'm looking for warmer land.
Okay, do you already have a location identified when you say warmer land? Like, are you looking like Florida or Georgia, or where are you looking?
Probably Florida or Arizona.
Oh, I love Arizona. When's the last time you were out there?
A couple months ago.
Okay, nice. Do you have some family out there, or were you just visiting?
Oh, visiting family.
Okay.
My stepdaughter-in-law. Yeah, she lives out there. Very nice area.
Yeah. Are you in like the Phoenix, like Scottsdale area, or where were you out?
Glendale.
Glendale. Okay.
Just outside of Phoenix.
Yep. Okay. I have some good friends that live in the Scottsdale area, so I go out there a couple times a year. But I've not spent any time in Glendale yet. Is there anything you'd recommend out that way?
Not really. I mean, it's just low key out there. I don't like the traffic. That's the one big drawback. So.
I don't think I know anybody that does like traffic, so I don't blame you there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Marlene, just so I understand too, I mean, if you were to sell this property, is this something that like you'd be able to move down any faster, or does it not really have an impact?
No, as long as my mom's in assisted living
Okay.
right now, and I couldn't leave until, I wouldn't leave her here. So that's my
Okay.
little problem.
Okay. I got you. So it sounds like you're a good daughter, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, I do have to fly. It was nice talking to you.
Well, yeah, Marlene, before I get off the phone, I mean, would it be okay if I asked? I know we weren't able to come to it when you were meeting with Jake, but I mean, is this something you'd prefer to get off your plate sooner rather than later? Or is it something you'd rather just sit on until you really get that number you're looking for?
Well, I really want at least that number. I mean, there's 15 and a half acres there. And like I said, the front lot a couple years ago, I thought about selling it, and the realtor said at least 40,000 for that. That's right on the main highway.
Sure.
And then the back, is just, it would have to be lumbered and cleaned out and everything. But yeah, that's where it would be.
Yeah, I understand, Marlene, and I feel like we're close here. I'd ideally like to just pick them both up rather than do it one by one. And I don't want to speak to what realtors say. I can't speak for them. What I can speak to is I know what it's like to be really busy, and I'd rather not add more to-dos and people to manage on your plate. I mean, if you were to get this off your plate, so you have to stop taking calls like this one, I mean, would it be worth it for you if we put, an offer in writing in front of you for that 105 that Jake had talked about?
Well, you could put it in writing and I can review it and, go from there.
Okay. And I'd be happy to do that. And Marlene, obviously with you being both in sales and in RN, you understand, I'm happy to do the work and put that in front of you. Is that something where you're being nice to me while we're on the phone, or is it something you really would chew on?
No, put something in front of me, and like I said, I would consider it.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know you said you got a jet here in a second. So I'll have my team put that together and we'll send that out. Again, I'd really like to be able to get that off your plate, but I also understand it's got to make sense for you, right? So, you know, just at the end of the day, our focus is our customer service. So when you tell me you're really busy, that's typically the type of person we work with, is people that don't have the time to pick a realtor and turn down a bunch of lowball offers and, you know, deal with all the complexity that comes with that and people asking for all these nuances. We buy our stuff as is. And that way you just sign one-page doc with us and you don't hear from us again until basically title asks you a wire or check. That's kind of the process.
Sounds great.
Any questions about any of that before we get out of here?
No, that sounds good.
Okay, well, hey, I appreciate your time this afternoon, Marlene. I hope you got where you're going nice and safe. And this is my direct line. If you do have any questions, you'll get that from our team here soon. When should we expect to circle back, you think?
Probably next week.
Next week. Okay. Could I put it down for a soft maybe Monday afternoon?
No, Monday afternoon and Friday afternoon I work as a nurse.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. It's also a holiday, I'm remembering.
Oh yeah, Monday's a holiday. I'm closed.
So I was going to say, you better be getting time and a half.
Yeah, no, we're closed on Monday. So if you want to circle back, I'll be around.
Okay. All right. I'll let the team know that Monday you'll be around. It'll either be myself or Jake that'll give you a call back here and see if we can work something out. But I appreciate your time this afternoon and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, that was not a verbal, but man, that was close. You know, she told me, here's the thing is I looked at the lead. She had said no to 105. She brought it up again on the call. And my biggest thing there was just trying to figure out like, hey, what are we doing, right? And then I was so bummed when she tried to get me off the phone because she had to go. So I'm like, okay, we got to speed this up. Otherwise, I would have spent another 20 minutes with her, honestly. I think that's a really big thing people don't do with their leads enough is like, how do we like really nurture that relationship, right? And a lot of people would say like, I was gabbing with her. Don't get me wrong. I was gabbing, okay? But she was opening up and she was telling me stuff. Her brother passed away and that's why she doesn't want to hunt there anymore. Her mom's in assisted living and that's what's, you know, changing the timeline in terms of her moving to Arizona. I learned she wants to go to Glendale, Arizona, right? So this is all stuff we use as ammunition in our conversation, not only in this conversation, but in any follow-ups in the future now, right? And so Jake, Ruby, or any of you guys on this? Anybody from Terra Prime?
Yep, I'm here. Yep.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yep,
all right, so
we're here.
I wasn't sure if you were on. Did you catch all that?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. What's Jake, you get any good takeaways on that, man?
Yeah, I mean, just it was good nurturing the relationship, you know.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, and I think I'll also point out at the very end there is where or just in the last like 80%, if you guys noticed, she said, yeah, go ahead and send it over. We all get that a lot. I don't know if you guys caught my question that I asked, but I was like, hey, and is that when you're saying send it over? I know you're in sales, right? She mentioned that. I'm like, is that just you politely telling me no, or is this something you're actually going to chew on? Right? And Wes, I did see your ping, and Kaylee, thank you for bumping that. So can you guys go ahead and send that out, and I'll send a text message to Larry here in a second as well.
Yep, I'll get it written up.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm realizing, guys, like,
Thanks
again,
for getting back to me, Ryan. Let's stay in touch in case some.
Thanks, Brian. You were unmuted, my friend. That was pretty funny. Okay, sweet. Let me send Larry a message. Art and Wesley, I'm going to send them that we went ahead and sent it out right now, whether you're sending it or haven't sent it yet. So just go ahead and get that out in a second. We just got, okay, let me start with great news. We just got the approval from our team to move forward at 55,000. Can you confirm that you received the agreement in your email? Sweet. Okay, I just ripped that. I'd say if I don't hear back from him, I'll try to drop a message if I'm on another call. If I don't hear back from him and we are still just like going, Wesley, I would wait maybe 10, 15 minutes tops before you just go ahead and give him a call. I mean, this guy's retired and said he's around all afternoon, so I don't feel bad. Triple dial him if you have to, but get him back on the horn. Also, Kirsten and John, what's up? I just saw you guys pop on. Good to see you. Guys, these are the Leclercs, not the Leclercs, not the Leclercs. This is the Leclercs. They have very politely corrected me on their last name a couple of times, and as somebody who's got my first name butchered constantly in my entire life, I always want to be very adamant to pronounce names correctly. So good to see you guys. DK said, I really want to see you work a lead where the seller wants full market value. I don't, man. That doesn't sound like a fun, productive time for me. I don't know about you, but he said this is all tied to LCA, right? Yes, this is tied to LCA. The benefits of being an LCA is you make more money. Anybody else want to speak to that? You can chat with him offline. But any of my clients, give me a thumbs up if you made more money working with me. Give me a thumbs down if you have not. Sweet. All right, we got a couple. Nick said way more. Sweet. There's your benefits. So DK, if you want to make more money, connect with Jacob. He'll walk you through how it works. And that's what we do. Is we use converting more leads to get you more contracts, and we use contracts to buy land, and we buy land so we can sell land for a profit. So that's what we do. Josh said, "Oh boy." That's funny. All right, good stuff. Okay, let's keep rolling. Adam said, I've gotten 3 under contract in the last week with your script. All right, let's go. Love to hear that, Adam. Congrats, man. That is awesome. Nick said same. Let's go. Again, guys, if you're not using my script, I literally made it for free. I consolidated the best of Alex Hormozy, Jeremy Lee Minor, Eminem. Yes, I said Eminem. Who else? Jenny Hudspeth, Eric Brewer, Cole Gordon, man, just all these different sales trainers I've worked with and watched and read from and learned over the years. And then I used all my 5 years of land experience to write this script so that, because here's the reality is I know what kills deals. So I'm going to say things that stop the deals from being killed, essentially. Somebody come off mute. Was that on purpose? I know, Frank, I don't think you were on purpose, my friend. I'm muting you. Sweet. Newbie here. Where can we find the script? Hello, Mr. Newbie, Mr. Michael. We have a free Skool community with over 600 people in it, where I put together an entire course that people are trying to get me to sell for $1,000, and instead I gave it away for free. So it's got free scripts, resources, flowcharts, a bunch of other stuff in there. I just dropped the link for you. Yes, I do grab your email, and yes, I will send you emails. And most of my emails are about stuff that I do that help you make money. So proceed with caution. All right. Sweet. Anybody have any other takeaways or questions on that? He said, can you shoot Marlene a text to confirm her email? Yes, I certainly can, my friend. Great chatting, Marlene. Can you please confirm your email so I can get that agreement over? Jake, I'm curious, was that a double close? How much margin was on that sucker? What's that thing worth?
I think, yeah, it's a double close. I think it's like 140, 150 range.
Okay, we'll take that. I mean, that's not, that's a good 30K probably deal, right? I don't mind a good 30K.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, good stuff. Anybody else?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I have some feedback on that and thoughts. I just loved at the end where the whole conversation really, I mean, you just had a great conversation with her, but and it was easy, very easy, and I think she felt comfortable. But at the end where you're like, are you just being nice to me? I love that. And I think that's a little bit Jeremy Minor, like don't just be nice to me. You don't have to worry about hurting my feelings. Yep. And then when you just really pounded at the end, like, how much is convenience worth to you? And that really made her think like that would be nice.
Yep.
So that was like where the leveling playing field came in, I felt like. So it was a great job.
Totally. Well, thank you. Yeah, I think 2 things is when she tried to get me off the phone, anybody that is in my community knows I am a fiend to make sure you make offers, right? So if I'm on the phone with a prospect for 10 minutes and she's telling me, okay, great chatting with you, I'm like, oh, pump the brakes. I haven't given you a number yet, right? So I got to go for the close. And that was part of it. And I could only close so hard when she's trying to get off the phone, you know what I mean? And you got to know when to push versus when to let off. And that was one that was not a good, push timing.
No, yeah.
But all that being said, thank you, Emily. Appreciate the kind words. Yeah, there's a lot of fun in this stuff, and it's good, like push pull. So we'll keep hammering away. What do you say we call another, y'all?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay, and I don't think I've got anybody in the waiting room. I'm trying to watch it. Sweet. Sweet, guys. Yeah, you want to learn this stuff? You want me to review your calls? Like, that's what we do every single Monday in the inner circle. It's a lot of fun. I didn't make this big Zoom just to promote it, but since I've got 80 of you here and only about half of you are in, come through. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to grab a decent lead here. I want something like, give me something hard, you know? Let's see. Not as hard as whoever said. I don't know what DK wanted me to do. He was like, call somebody who wants 300K for 100K property. I'm like, that's a waste of everybody's time, man. Let's see. Not that hard, Josh. I don't want one of yours. Good to see you, man. Sweet. Okay. All right. Let me try this one from Joe. Let's see. Okay. We are going to try calling Penny and Charles. Wish me luck. It's not ringing. There it goes. Hello? Hello, hello, hello? Not sure. Let's try a double. Try a little double dial up in here. All right, now this lead's got like Starlink or something. These calls are just not going through. We're trying another lead. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Bum 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 bum. Dum 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 dum. Let's see. Audrey. We're gonna call on Audrey, and she's gonna sell me her property. Come on.
Reached a number that does not accept solicitations. If you are a solicitor, please add this number to your do not call
Am I a
list
solicitor?
and hang up now. Otherwise, please press 1 or stay on the line.
We're about to find out.
Thank you. Please hold. Please enter your area code and phone number, followed by pound. If you make a mistake and need to start again.
All right, I don't know what's up with this lead, guys. We're not doing this anymore. He said, I can hear James chuckling at your joke from across the house. Good. I am here for entertainment, guys. You can cancel your Netflix, cancel your Prime, cancel your Disney Plus. Your kids can wash Uncle Ajay clothes, and that's what we're going to do from now on, all right? So we're all going to raise up little closers here. Let's get something good. Arturo, you got anything yet? I'm waiting to hear about this contract, man. Keep us posted if you get anything, okay? Nothing yet. Okay. Cody said sounds like a litigator that's trying to get where'd your message go? Yeah, maybe. I don't know what's up with them. But let's just keep hitting. We got more leads, guys. We got plenty to play with. Let's find somebody. Trying to find somebody with a southern area code that I might be able to hit a little easier. I want a good pickup. Jennifer, here we go. I'm looking at one of yours, maybe. Sorry, this spreadsheet's not super easy to read, guys. That's my fault, not yours. So it makes it just a little tricky for me to read through some of these. Here we go. All right, I just need to pick something. Let's go, Bobby. Let's see. I'm trying to look for. Here we go. Okay, sweet. Let's try this guy. Trey, if you're on here, I'm calling one of yours right now. 735 5845. Hi, Donna. It's Ajay. Did I catch you at a bad time? Okay, great, great. Well, hey, I'm calling. You had chatted with my team a ways back about a property you've got out there in Greenville. It is a 5-acre tract out that way. Do you remember that conversation?
I remember talking to someone.
Okay, okay, and maybe a lot of someone's. I don't know if other folks are calling you these days about it or not.
Yeah, I had 2 offers on it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, since we're chatting, would it be okay if I asked you a couple of questions and see if I could match or beat them?
Sure.
Okay, great. Whole call should take about maybe 5 to 7 minutes. You got 5 to 7 minutes to chat?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, all right. And you let me know if you got to run, but can I ask, and usually I've got really good notes in front of me, but I don't. Is this a property you're actively using?
No.
No? Okay. How'd you end up buying it? Do you live out in Greenville?
I didn't buy it. It belonged to my grandmother.
Okay, gotcha. So you inherited it from her?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you grow up going out there with her, or was it more so just something she owned, she passed along to you? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I know it's none of my business, so feel free to not tell me if you don't want, but is this like, what'd you guys do out there? It's 5 acres. Were you hunting out there, or what were you guys using it for back then?
Oh no, she just at one time she had 2 houses on it.
Oh.
And the houses are gone now though.
Okay.
But my aunt lived in one and she lived in another one, and it was just more or less just going and visiting, and kids playing in the yard, and
Okay. I gotcha.
They did a little bit of farming, but not really.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
For themselves,
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, it sounds like you may be hearing from some other folks. Is this, before I called back, was this something you guys have been thinking about selling for a little bit?
Not until I started, getting offers, and then I got scared about the offers. I said, well, I'm not, because they'd say they would pay for all the closing costs and all this kind of stuff, I just got sort of afraid to even really get too involved with them.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. So you're saying, did you feel like some of the folks that were calling you maybe weren't trustworthy?
I don't really know. I mean, they talked very nice. They were polite.
Nicer than me, or?
I didn't want to send it. I didn't want to sell it Chinese or anything like that,
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't want to sell any property to the Chinese either.
I just want foreigners coming in trying to buy stuff, but you don't ever know.
No, you never do. You never do. I hear you. Okay, well, look, I'm not trying to do anything to scare y'all or make you lose your peace. I think one of my favorite quotes from one of my mentors was, "If it costs you your peace, it costs too much." You ever hear that before?
No.
Okay, well, hey, my whole point here is I'm not trying to cost you your peace. But can I ask, I mean, is it worth it for me to continue asking you just a couple more questions and see if we can work something out? I know I'm also somebody that called you up, and I don't want you, feeling uncomfortable if we get to a price and then, it just doesn't work out. So, is it worth it to keep having the conversation?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I'll listen.
Okay. All right. Well, me too. Okay. Well, can I ask, I know you weren't really trying to sell the property, but is this something where you try to buy something else, or are you guys planning for retirement or vacation or anything?
Well, I had thought about putting it towards something else because of tax purposes, but I was just recently told when I checked into that it had to be more or less like a business property where you sell one and buy another one and have, tax credit and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not an accountant, and I can't give you, official tax advice. But I mean, would it be okay if I shared something I've been thinking through when we sell properties?
Sure.
I think the reality is, and I don't want to turn this into a politic conversation, but I think that the way the office is running right now is it's probably going to be the best taxes we're going to get here for the next 12 years. It flips every 4 to 8. We can't go again the way we are right now, and it's not. So we're going back blue, I would guess, after 4 years, which means our taxes go up historically, is what that looks like. I don't know what your timeline looks like, but my personal opinion as not a tax professional is that if you're going to sell it, whether it's to me or not, I would tell you in the next 3 years is probably the best time to do it if you're thinking about your taxes.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
I don't know what the tax laws have changed or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I know some stuff just went through, and it's getting better, I can tell you. But I couldn't tell you exact. So I got an accountant. I run all that stuff through that. He's smarter than I am. It sounds like you got somebody too. So there's only so much, but if you're thinking about it, what I would say is next 3 years is the time if you're going to do it at all. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what about trading properties?
Trading properties? You mean like buying another?
Yeah, I mean, like if y'all wanted to buy mine, you had something that I wanted or something like that.
Yeah, we don't usually do that too terribly much. Can I ask, are you looking to pick something up in the area, or what are you looking for?
I want something on either some kind of waterfront property.
Some kind of waterfront property. Okay. Yeah, we don't really have anything like that right now in inventory. And I also just, I don't want to lie to you, Donna. Waterfront property obviously costs a lot more money. You know what I'm saying? So, if I had waterfront property, I'd probably want to be on it myself out there with a boat if I could.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have found a lot of property that's, a whole lot less than what this is.
Right. That makes sense. Okay. Well,
There's a lot.
Okay. So I guess.
There's a lot down on Lake.
Oh, sorry. What was that? I didn't catch that.
Okay. I said there's a lot down here on Lake Greenwood, a lot less than the offers that I got.
Okay. Okay. Well, Donna, let me ask. I mean, I guess in terms of just like our next steps here, I mean, is this something if we were to come to a number, is this something you would sell, or are you really trying to set up a tax plan before you do? What are kind of your thoughts there?
Well, I just, I think I don't know what the percentage is on the tax stuff now. I really don't. But I mean, if I throw something, well, I got 2 different offers, one for 50, one for 70.
Okay.
So, if I sold it like for $70,000, I'm not going to have to pay $30,000 in taxes,
Yeah.
I mean, because I inherited it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, gosh, I hope not. That's a good chunk of change. And yeah. And something I know some people do. Are you familiar with seller financing?
Yeah.
Okay. And look, I'm not pitching it to you necessarily, but all I'm saying is in the past with other folks, when we bought properties and they're worried about the tax bill, you can spread out the sale of the property, which means you also spread out the income over different years if you do it on basically you offer financing since you own the property free and clear and you be the bank. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I financed a person financed a couple of rental houses I had at one time.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, Donna, I guess, is this something that, you'd be wanting to sell in the next like 45, 90 days or so, or is like, just help me understand kind of where you are in the process so I know what to do.
I really do need to get rid of it because I probably paid more taxes on it than I'll ever get out of it because I've had it forever.
Yeah, but I mean, Is it
just emotionally attached.
okay, gotcha. So is it more so the taxes or more the emotion that's making you want to keep it?
Well, no, it's probably mostly the taxes because I know when something happens to me, my kids ain't going to keep it.
Okay.
Because my kids really wasn't that big of a, I mean, they were maybe for a few years, but they're not, it don't have an attachment to them like it does to me.
Okay. I gotcha.
And, I mean, it'd probably be sold tomorrow.
I hear ya. Yeah. Well, I guess. Yeah. And I mean, Donna, do you still?
I just want to go ahead and get rid of it,
Okay.
But I don't know. I guess it's just, I thought if there was some way I could avoid paying so much taxes, like with a trade or something like that would be,
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying. So if I'm hearing you correctly, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, my husband and I dealt with real property for a long time.
Uh-huh.
Did stuff like that. But I never did do any kind of trading with property or, swapping or nothing like that, so I don't really know how all that works.
Yeah. Yeah. And we don't normally do a ton of that either. We just come in and we buy some properties. Do you guys still have rental properties, or is that something or have you sold those off?
No, I gave each one of my kids a home and sold the other ones off.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, oh, you're cutting out just a little bit there, Donna. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Oh, perfect. We're good now. So I guess what I'm wondering right now. The question I'm asking myself here is, I wish I could wave a magic wand and y'all didn't have to pay any taxes if it was up to me. But I mean, I think we can agree if there's not really a trading piece and you do decide to sell it while you're still with us here before it goes on to your kids, you're probably gonna have to pay them one way or another. So I mean, are you thinking you'd rather just hang on to it, or would you rather just, like I said, sell and pay whatever taxes we got to for now?
I think I have come to the, realization that I need to get rid of it because, I'm paying taxes on it every year, and I have been for over 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So not only, you're paying taxes one way or another, aren't you, Donna? Whether it's the property taxes or the income. Okay.
I know. No, I really do want to get rid of it.
Okay.
I don't know. I just can't seem to take it. I guess I just need to just sell it, pay the taxes, and just don't worry about it. I guess.
Yeah, I think you got to do one or another. So if I'm hearing you right, it sounds like you're ready to move forward, but you've just been thinking for a while on whether you should or not. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I talked to my tenant about, some options and stuff. And
okay, so you're being smart about it.
He was more or less telling me about when because I was told that if you sold something, you had so much time to put the money back into another property.
Okay.
But from what she told me, that's more or less like a business thing. I mean, I can't.
Yeah.
5 acres with nothing on it, just vacant land.
Right.
I couldn't turn around and sell it and then put that toward like something down on the lake.
Right.
There's not a tax break there or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So I guess knowing we can't get a tax break, does it just make more sense to sell?
Yeah, I guess, because I mean, it ain't gonna. I mean, either I'm just gonna keep paying taxes on it.
Yeah. One way or another.
Everybody else is gonna have a party. So.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, okay, so it sounds like you're thinking you do want to sell it. You know, obviously I'm giving you a call back because my team's talked to you and we want to buy it.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like you've got some other offers on the table, but help me understand. I mean, are those folks people you trust and you want to work with, or where are you at there?
Well, I don't know. They talk just like you.
Well, I don't know. My mama seems to think nobody talks like me, so she tells me I'm one of a kind.
They were a lot of fun. They were caring.
Sure.
They taught us. One was from, is it called Roseland or Rosehill or?
Maybe Pine Rose? Maybe Pine Rose?
They were from Texas. Maybe that's what it was.
Okay. Did you like them?
I love the way they talk.
Okay.
You know? But like I said, I thought, now, is he buying up land to China?
So this will be a funny point where I tell you, I also work with Pine Rose. You talk to my buddy Trey, who I get to work with, and I promise you, God is my witness, we are not buying them for China. Yep. So I work with them. That's right. That's why I was mentioning. I think you talked to my team a ways back. So I was going back. So the good news is, if you did, that's why I was asking, did you like them? I was going to tell them if you had said no.
Well, I mean, everybody I've talked to has been very nice, you know.
Yeah.
And I wish I could remember who the other girl was, and I can't remember who gave me what.
Right.
I've got the letters over there somewhere, but I had an offer for 70 and an offer for 50.
Okay. Gotcha. You know, I am looking back in our notes here, and you know, we had a price. It looks like it was pretty close to that higher one. Is it, I mean, would it be worth it for us to talk some numbers here, Donna?
Yeah, I'll listen.
You'll listen. All right. And Donna, can I just ask you one favor for me?
I'll try.
All right. Just be honest with me. All right. I think, you know, you tell me how it is, and you don't.
I don't believe in he hauling around.
Perfect. Well, then we're going to get along just fine. All right. So, yeah, I'm looking back in our notes here, and it does look like we were somewhere between 60 and 65,000 for the property.
Okay, now I don't remember those numbers.
Okay.
I remember one for 50 and one something for 70, so I don't even know. Did y'all send you a letter about that or something?
You know, I'd have to ask Trey, who you spoke with in the past. You know, we probably sent it via email or we mailed it over to you, one or the other. We do. Are you active on email, or do you do more so hard paper?
No, I do email. Of course, I'm bad about not. You know, I might have 500 emails before I go through them. I do a lot of research.
Okay.
And it seems like every time I research stuff, I get all this email. I don't get emails from just regular, you know, individual people, friends, family, and that kind of stuff. It's mostly just businesses and universities and places where I go to do research, you know, and everything.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of all those emails. I'm always unsubscribing to folks and deleting things, and I can't deal with it. So I get it. Too many people want me to spend money somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I'm looking back in our notes here, Donna. I don't know that we actually got you something on either writing or paper. So I'm not sure how far you got in the conversation with Mr. Trey. But I mean, in the least, we're having one.
I remember that name, ma'am.
Okay.
I remember that name, Trey. I
Okay.
remember that name.
Yep, he's a nice fella. Okay. So Donna, I guess in terms of next steps here, I mean, I know it sounds like maybe you chatted with some other companies. Would it be okay if I went through sort of how my team works, if you don't remember how that went with Trey, just so that you understand our side of things. Okay, so I'll tell you, my pride is customer service. I like to make sure I hear folks out and understand what problems are in front of us. And so I want working with us to be as easy as possible, Donna. That's where I call you up and I try to walk you through any documents you got to sign. We don't take commission, so whatever number I leave you with is the number we're doing. We offer cash for our properties to keep it real simple. And I try to make our agreements real simple so that anybody can read them. And usually they're only one page, maybe sometimes two, depending on what we got to throw in them. Depending on, just the area and the property, we can close as quick as 30 days on some, sometimes faster, just depending. I think on the longer end, we've gone up to 90 if, there's something real crazy in due diligence and we got to get some people out there basically. But that's kind of our range and our timeline and how we work. Do you have any questions about any of that?
Where do you do the closing at?
So we have an attorney we've worked with in South Carolina. Again, I am not the one that personally does that. I just talk to the nice people on the other end like yourself. So typically how it works is, let's say you and I come to terms. Typically we do email. So I would send you over something via email to get e-signed. If you liked it, you would sign. We'd send it over to our South Carolina attorney. I can ping the owners of the company right now to see who we normally work with out there. I'm not sure if they could give me a name. Can I ask, are you asking me that because you guys have somebody you've worked with that you like out there?
Yeah, I have an attorney that I've worked with before on properties.
Okay. You have an attorney that you worked with. Yeah, because you guys had some rentals, so that makes sense. So in the past, we've worked with Okay. So out of Greenville, we actually do have an attorney. Are you familiar with Totes Law Firm out that way? Catherine Brooks is who we've worked with.
Totes Law Firm?
That's right. Totes Law Firm. Catherine Brooks is out that way. Does that name ring a bell?
I'm trying to find something to write on. Okay,
Yeah, let me know when you got a pen and paper.
is that T-O?
That's Toates. So,
okay.
yeah, so it's spelled like Toates basically, but it's Totes. So Toates law firm. And we've worked with Catherine Brooks out that way. She's been really easy to work with.
Okay.
And then just, we I know Trey mentioned he's out of Texas. I am as well, actually. And we do business in a couple of different states. In South Carolina, I know I don't think it's super uncommon, for both sides to have an attorney. That's how North Carolina is, I know, which is totally fine. I want you guys to feel protected. It sounds like you've had some folks that, you've worked with in the past that maybe didn't let you work with your own people or feel protected. And I just want to make sure you feel comfortable with, whatever we're doing moving forward here, right? I think I told you at the beginning of this call, my mentor's favorite phrase is, if it costs you your peace, it costs too much. And Donna, I'm not trying to cost you any peace here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would definitely check the lawyers out and all that kind of stuff.
Sure. Can I ask who's y'all's attorney? Because usually what we do is we just send stuff straight to them so we don't have to play phone tag with each other.
Oh my goodness, you shouldn't have asked me that.
I'm putting you on the spot here, Donna.
I can take you to his office right now. It's on Lawrence Road. That's all I can say, but I can't think of, see, I haven't used him for any kind of business deals or anything probably in 10, 12 years.
10 to 12 years. Okay. And he is still practicing, right?
Oh, yeah, he's still practicing.
Okay.
In fact, I sold my grandma's place to one of my nephews, and that's the last time not that grandma's place, my other grandma's place.
Okay.
nephews, and it's the last time I've used him, and I can't think of what his name is.
Okay, gotcha.
But
I'd really. Is there anywhere you can look while we're chit chatting right now? I'd love to be able to write down his name and find his info too, just so it's always better when you can get everybody talking to each other, you know?
let's see, I could probably call Mike and get his name. Well, I can't nothing you on the phone. Let me see. Hold on a minute. I can just put lawyer and put the approximate address, and I might be able to get it up.
Okay, let's try it out.
Let's see. And he just deals in real estate, so. Cameron, use your phone and put in real estate lawyer on Lawrence Road.
Is there any chance it's Mr. Scott Lawrence?
No.
No, okay. I'm trying to do some Googling on my end to see if I can help.
Lawrence Road. Right before it turns into Stone Avenue. Right before you go into 385, he's up on the hill. What? No. All of those real estate lawyers. Have you got Michael's phone number? He's the same lawyer. Me and Jimmy always used before Jimmy died for our real estate stuff. And then when I sold Micah Emma's place, we used the same lawyer. Wait a minute, that sounds familiar. I don't know what was the other one. I can't remember the firm, but I think I was. I think no, I don't know what that is. It's in a complex on Lawrence Road right before you go into 385 up on the hill on the right. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I hope I don't cause some drama over here. I'm sorry.
It's my granddaughter. She just came in.
Oh.
For her to listen to.
Okay. What's her name?
Cameron.
Hi, Cameron.
Camperdown, real fun. But it's not really on Camperdown Way. It's right off of Camperdown Way. No, this is.
You know if there'd be anything in your email, Donna? I know you said you get about 500 of them, but not sure if there'd be anything there.
Maybe 2 years or so ago. I don't know.
Okay, gotcha.
And then Micah, I'm not even sure if it's Micah. But I mean, it's on papers. I got some in the file in there somewhere.
Okay.
Don't see anything. I mean, I'm naming them all. Oh, okay.
And this is.
I'll probably have to just hunt it up.
Okay, that's.
Call Micah. You got Micah? Oh. Would you mind calling Micah?
Hey, and Donna, while Cameron's calling Micah, I mean, can I ask too, you know, if
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Hold on 1 second. 419-5837. Uh-huh. Well, the lawyer, when I told him in my place, what lawyer did we, the name of the lawyer that we used? Yeah, that's the one me and Jimmy always use for the real properties and stuff, when we bought real properties, but I can't remember his name. I mean, I know where he's at, but I don't know I can't remember his name. Okay, she's going to call him. Oh, bless his heart. He might not even know either. Of course, he's not that old, so he's maybe his memory's still pretty good.
Oh, Donna, do I still have you?
What was the name of it?
Oh.
Keeble.
Oh. Keeble and Brown on Lawrence Road?
Keeble and Brown. Yeah.
Okay, and then I see P. Ryan Brown, a Kimberly Keeble on their team. I just found their website. Is there someone there that y'all normally use?
Okay. Yeah, well, it was a guy, but I don't remember. Who's the lawyers are listed on that?
There's a Ryan on there. Does that sound right, Donna?
Oh. Yeah, I believe that is who it was. A dog. No, with that dog. Oh, those are ladies. That's the only guy. Yeah, okay. She said that was the only guy.
Okay.
He sort of looks familiar. He's got no.
Okay, it's possible.
It's probably Ryan Brown.
Okay.
I mean, I can't guarantee it because I say it's been so long.
That's okay. Well, let's do this. I mean, it sounds like in the lease y'all have done some business at Keeble and Brown. So if we have an agreement ready to go, we get that over to somebody over there. We've got our attorney that can talk to y'all's. We can have Catherine Brooks talk to Mr. Ryan Brown so that everybody feels safe and protected, right? Would there be anything stopping us from working together?
Probably not, except maybe the price.
Just the price. All right. Well, hey, we've been on the phone here for a bit. Well, let's talk about it. So I know you've gotten some other offers here in the past. I mean, let me ask Donna, what would it take to earn your business here? Where would I need to be? Donna, do I still have you?
I don't know. Yeah, you still have me. I'm thinking. I want to ask you a question now, okay?
I got answers. I've been asking you questions all day, so shoot.
Okay. Why are y'all buying land out here?
Why are we buying land? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
so we buy land in.
Why would you
Sorry?
Why would you pick a little 5 acres out in the middle of nowhere? Why would you pick a little spot 5 acres out in the middle of nowhere?
That's a great question. So the short of it is, Donna, I mean, we buy properties all over. So we do stuff everywhere from, we bought some stuff in South Carolina, North Carolina. We like the Southeast. I think the short answer is people are moving out that way, right? And so obviously we're a business and sometime in the future we'll make money, right? And so I don't know exactly what that's going to look like in terms of when or how we sell it. We do it a couple different ways. But I mean, I'm not going to lie to you either. I'm obviously on the phone with you because we run a business, right? And so can I ask, I mean, is there anything you want to make sure isn't done out to that property besides selling it to the Chinese?
No, it's just, I mean, it just sort of surprises me that people would just, I mean, I could understand if they were buying a lot of land and going to develop and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But a little 5 acre tract out in the middle of nowhere and the land across it, hasn't been touched since I was a little bitty girl.
Right.
The family refuses to do any spelling whatsoever.
Right.
And the people on either side have been the same way. So it's just hard for me to imagine what you think you could do with that little 5 acres. And
yeah, no,
like I say, it's got a million there.
I hear
there's
you.
2 neighbors, but I mean, it's just real isolating.
Yeah, I understand. And we buy properties like that all over. So
yeah.
I wish I could tell you I was throwing a skyscraper on it, but I'd be lying to you. Yeah. What other questions do you have for me, Donna?
Just give me your best price and let me think on it for 2 days and call me back and I'll give you a complete answer.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. I can certainly do that. I mean, I'm seeing in our notes last time we chatted, it looked like you and Trey had agreed $65,000 for the property.
Well, I don't remember those numbers.
Okay.
I had two letters, and I don't remember exactly who they were. One for 50 and one was for 70.
Right.
And I don't ever remember the 65. Now we may have discussed it or something, but I don't think I ever got anything in writing,
Right.
as offer on that or anything like that. But
yeah, I'm not sure if we put it in writing from what I'm seeing in my notes here. And I know you said you wanted to take some time to think about it. And look, I'm not trying to rush yet. You've obviously had this property in your family for a long time. I don't expect you to make a split-second decision here. The only thing I need on my end is some clarity on which way we're moving, so I know how to notate this and I can report back to the team, obviously. And so, I mean, Donna, I don't know that I can get too much more. I mean, let me ask you, you've obviously turned down some other folks. We had met at 65 before, but I'm not trying to tell you a conversation did or didn't happen. So we don't need to talk about that no more if that's not relevant. Where would we need to be to move this thing forward?
I'm going to say 70.
Okay. So if I could match that at $70,000, we got you in agreement and sent that over your way. I mean, would there be anything else stopping us from working together?
No, you just got to give me a couple of days to think about it.
That's okay. That's okay. And if you have questions on stuff you're thinking over too, obviously I'm more than happy to answer that. But okay. I'm gonna ping the team. In terms of next steps here, Donna, just to chat through some stuff. So 2 things. The first one is I want to ask your opinion on something, if that'd be all right. We have 2 options on the type of a.
I probably will not do no e-signing.
You won't do e-signing, is that what you said?
I've already heard too many people, things about this where they were. And I'm not saying that you're a scammer, okay?
Okay.
But there's an awful lot of scammers out there.
Yep, I agree. And look, I told you this at the beginning of the call. I'll say it again. If it costs you your piece, it costs too much. So I don't want you to do anything you're not comfortable with. So I got 2 questions for you, and then I can give you your afternoon back. I guess the first one would be, in terms of the actual agreement itself, we got 2 options here, Donna. Okay, the first one is a very, very simple 1-page agreement. I usually do that when it's just you and I talking and I'm sending you something via email or in the mail. But I'll tell you, our attorneys won't like it because it's a little bit too simple. And I love making sure we're all safe, but sometimes they like their big words and lots of letters and all kinds of stuff here, right? And so option 2 is we can use the base state contract that everybody uses in South Carolina at, higher levels with more expensive properties and stuff. I'm happy to do either one. We've done both plenty of times. I just don't want anybody to be surprised, because what's happened in the past, Donna, is we'll send it to an attorney, like a 1-page agreement to an attorney, and they're like, what is this? They get surprised. and we're like, hey, this is usually all title needs. It just says I'm the buyer, you're the seller. Here are the terms. We're going to buy it by XYZ date. We're going to pay this price for it, right? But they like, the bigger state contracts. And I'm happy to do either one. Do you have a preference while we're on the phone?
Well, I can tell you right now that I will not do any signing over the phone.
Yeah, of course.
Signing whatsoever.
Of course. And just to clarify, so my second question then is the logistics for the agreement, because we've got two options here, Donna. The first one, and look, this one is a little more time-based, and I know you said you want some time here, so I want to preface this by saying I'm not trying to twist your arm here. I'm just explaining what we've done in the past, where we actually send basically like a mobile notary out to you, so you've got an actual paper in front of you. Option two, though, is since we've got the benefit of our attorneys out in Greenville, we can send our agreement directly over to Ryan, and if you don't mind popping into his office and going over it with him, you can sign it with him right then and there. I would say just, be ready. If we're going to do that, we're going to start accruing some fees. So I just ask that we have a level of commitment before we go that route. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And what kind of fees do y'all cover?
So we'd be happy to cover the attorney fees. I think when it's just our attorney, we're especially okay with that. When it's two sets, we've done it a couple different ways. I mean, we can deduct them out of the proceeds, but we have taken care of them before. I mean, can I ask, would it be a deal breaker for you if we deducted your attorney's fees out of the proceeds?
It might. I don't know. Might not.
Okay. Yeah. And that's, up to, yeah, it's just transparently, look, I want you to feel protected, so I'm not telling you not to use your people, but the attorneys can be a little bit pricey. I don't know what exactly, but anywhere between 800 to maybe $2,000 in terms of closing fees, and so, which is why I say, hey, I'm more than happy to send this to your attorney, but if one of us is going to be coming up out of pocket, I just want to make sure we're moving forward here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, I was under the impression, if I'm not, no, I can't really say this for sure because I'm not sure.
Okay.
But most people told me that the closing costs were covered.
Right. And we're happy to cover those, especially when we're just using our attorney, because it's just one set, It can get a little bit pricier when we've got two, but if it's a deal breaker for you, I can talk to the owners of the company, and I bet you I can twist their arms and get them to agree here.
Yeah.
So let me ask again, Don, if I could get them to agree to pay those costs, I mean, would we be good to go ahead and email something over to Mr. Ryan Brown?
Yeah, after I think about it.
After you think about it. Okay. Got it. So, okay. And
I want to know that they agree with everything and let me do some real serious thinking about this because I know I need to get rid of it. So.
Okay. So you need to get rid of it. And is it you just basically want to sleep on it, or what's your biggest hold up here, just in terms of us sending that over?
I'm not just going to make a decision.
Of course, that makes sense.
Going over. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So I just sent a message over to one of our owners, and she did give me the green light for the attorney fees. So we're good to go ahead and cover those. In terms of our next steps here, I want to give you, the time you need to think about it. Can I just ask you one last favor? I know I've stolen a lot of your afternoon here, but one last favor before we get off the phone.
Go ahead.
Okay. Donna, I'm just asking that after, we get off the phone here, you give me the courtesy of one more conversation, whether it's me or Trey, just so we know which way the wind's blowing in terms of our next steps. I'm happy to get stuff prepped on our end. I'm always happy to talk to you and answer questions. But it's always unfortunate when we have trouble getting back on the line after we have a conversation like this.
Don't start anything. Don't do anything. And then tell me, well, we've already,
Of course.
none of that.
No. Yeah, no, I'm not doing none of that. I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not twisting no arms. I'm not playing any games. That's why we're, we got 2 sets of attorneys, and even if we started anything and we sent it over, we're writing it up that we're paying those fees. So even if we started to start something, we'd have to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So I promise you, we're not going to do anything like that. All I need from you is just another conversation so we know which way the wind's blowing.
Okay, that'd be good.
Okay. All right. Well, I know you said you want a day or two to think through this. So would it be best if I called you back on Saturday or Monday?
Yeah, I want to, got a couple of people I want to talk to, well, let's see, I got my grandson this weekend. It would be better Monday.
Monday? Okay.
I'll be here by myself.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. We'll plan to give you a buzz probably Monday. Do you prefer mornings or afternoons?
Before lunch.
Before lunch?
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. Okay. Well, we'll plan to give you a ring here before lunch on Monday. Before I get off the phone, are there any other questions I can answer for you?
I don't think so.
Okay. And I'm just going to summarize. I know we've been talking for a long time here, but I want to make sure I got everything right in my notes. So, we'll be purchasing the property from you, assuming all is well and you get, your sleep on it and you feel comfortable moving forward. Once we're ready to be in motion, we will get, the agreement drafted up, probably on the state contract, if I had to guess, just so that the attorneys feel comfortable. We'll go ahead and get our attorney, Catherine Brooks, CC'd on that as well and send that over to Mr. Paul Brown over at Keeble and Brown. From there,
Okay.
and we'll get the agreement drafted up at that 70,000 price we agreed to. Does that sound about right? And obviously all this would be good to go after we have our conversation on Monday.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, Donna, I appreciate your time this afternoon. Any other thoughts or questions before we go?
No, honey, what was your name again?
My name is Ajay. I've got a little bit of a funky name.
Ajay.
Yeah, I always say it's like RJ without the letter R in it. So like Ajay.
Oh.
Yep. I know. Sounds funny, right?
That's pretty. I like an unusual name.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. Well, Donna, you have a blessed weekend, and we'll chat again on Monday.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Shoo, she did not make that. She did not make that easy, y'all. Oh, by the way, what was that?
I said, way to go.
Yeah, thanks. There was a lot there. She kept throwing stuff at me too. It felt like, golly. Hey, Mr. Arturo and Matt, by the way, I did get a text from, I'm just now seeing it, sorry, but I did get a text from what's his name that he received the agreement. Did you guys get anything? You guys have a chance to talk to him, Wesley?
No, we tried
4 times.
Called him 4 times?
I triple dialed him on my personal phone, and then I waited 30 minutes and called him on a complete separate open phone line. But this is exactly what he did last time. I spoke to him almost every day for a month, just wouldn't sign the agreement.
You're kidding. Okay. Is this a flip or a double close?
This is a flip.
It's a flip. Oh yeah, it's Tennessee. I think double closes are hard out there. Wesley, can you just email me the agreement right now? Let me see if I can catch him at the tail end of this. Maybe he'll call me back on my number.
Yeah, I'll email it to you.
Up on my line.
Do you have access to it, Wes?
Yeah,
No?
I'm good now.
Yeah, man, if you could just take like a screenshot of the PDF or something. If I'm gonna walk him through it, I want to be able to look at what I'm watching. I mean, I can ad hoc it, you know what I'm saying, but I don't know exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know exactly what section 1, 2, and 9 look like, But Christian, we better get that sucker locked up. Listen, guys, that wasn't like 100% verbal, but we did a couple of things in there, right? We had to get comfort on the scam stuff that she mentioned, comfort on China, comfort on Trey, right? We had to get her. Oh my gosh, it was a whole parade about the taxes and getting her to commit to selling the property, right? So golly, that was just that was a doozy. I mean, that was a lot. But look, let's see, how long was that call? That call was here. My open phone has not updated yet. Hang on. I think it was 47 minutes when I hung up is what I saw on there. right? And so what I'm trying to show everybody in doing this too is so many of you get some level of like, yeah, just send me the agreement. And you're like, I don't know, I know I'm signing, right? And it's like, guys, that's what it looks like to really work with a lead. Like you need to address everything, like, you know, in the back of your head when you're like, they said this thing, and you go back to your team and you're like, yeah, Cody, I mean, she seemed okay on price, but she mentioned this weird thing about her brother, and I don't know. And it's like, well, dude, why didn't you freaking say something? You know what I mean? Like, why didn't you just ask, right? On that last call, when the lady was like, yeah, go ahead and send it to me. Like, I asked her the question, hey, and is that you just being nice to me, or is this something you're really going to chew on? Because we're all thinking it. So like, say what you think. One of my favorite expressions in sales is to do deals other people aren't doing. You got to be okay saying things other people aren't saying, right? And that's what that sounds like, which is why I'm doing this ridiculous 2 hours on a Zoom call with 80 people of me just calling leads, because I want you to hear what it sounds like to really go through this. And those of you that are in the Monday call know, like, some of you I'm nicer to than others. But the reality is, like, you've heard me go through so many of these concepts, and like, I just want to show you, like, I'm doing what I talk about in these calls, right? Yes, exactly, Jennifer. We have to address the elephant in the room. Emily loved the summary at the end. Yeah, so there was just, and the big reason for that summary is we talked for 45 minutes. That was a long conversation. And then because I know she ghosted in the past, like, I knew we were going to, I knew that was a risk, and I just didn't want it again. And she seemed very okay having another conversation. Kirsten, is Trey working on Monday? I realize it's a holiday and I totally forgot.
He will be now.
He will be now.
He'll be excited. I mean, he's
Okay.
been calling this woman for weeks and weeks and weeks, and she picked up your phone. So he's a ghoster, though. So hopefully he gets her Monday, but he will be triple dialing her.
And I'll tell you what, I don't have, my team's off on Monday. So if y'all want to text
Ours
me.
is too, but Trey will call her. Yeah.
Okay. And if Trey can't get her on the horn, I'm happy to get her back if we need to do a little rendezvous. This stuff's fun for me. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, I love
It was
great. I'll tell you, on my team, I'm not, doing all the acquisitions day to day, but deals that are on the edge, like, I'm always going to jump in and get them over the edge, right? So it's fun for me to flex my muscles a bit. Wesley keeps coming in and out of the meeting, Art. I don't know if he's having like a tech issue, my friend. But okay, I'm looking back into this. Kirsten, I saw you ping me mobile notary. Yeah, I know. I went one of two options because I could tell she was going to be uncomfortable by being pushed into a decision, right? And people that are uncomfortable being pushed into decisions, like, have a proclivity to just like cut you off the moment they feel pressured, which is where, like, if you heard me talking, I had to give her every out, or else she was going to be one of those sellers, like, your back's against the wall, you're just not going to pick up the phone anymore, right? So I had to make her feel like the decision was hers, right? There's some nuance in there, which is why I'm like, hey, we can do this, or you can go into your attorney's office that we'll pay for, and you can go sign it there. How's that, Mrs. Donna? It's like, and I'm teasing. Okay, Wesley, you DM'd me the agreement. I'm looking at it here. Sweet. I did not know you could just drop a file like that in Zoom. That's sick.
Did you hear anything about next door?
What was that, Marcus? I don't know if you're talking to me.
Good.
I'll take that as a no. You were muted, my friend. Shoo, guys. Whew, being on the phones for 2 hours is not for the meek, I will say. What's up, John? Okay, Wesley, I did get the file. I'm gonna try to call Mr. Larry back here. Let's see if I can get this up. I feel like, what did we end up with? We got, can I call that a verbal with Donna that we just had, Kirsten? Would you have called that a verbal? It's like a soft kind of, like, I didn't get a yes out of her, but I did get an agreement on price, right?
Yeah, I think it is a verbal because we had the same verbal, weeks ago.
Our sales coach is a stickler, so I don't think he'd count that.
Oh yeah. You probably would have counted for us.
Yeah, I know.
Damn it.
I know. I think it would depend, but Trey's too honest about all that stuff all the time. If you guys don't know, I work with Kirsten and John one-on-one. So I don't do a lot of one-on-one, and that's not something I'm advertising right now because I don't like doing a lot of it. You got to be very special for me to want to do one-on-one.
Can't kick us out. We're grandfathered in now.
You are grandfathered in. But okay, so we got that. Hopefully, let's try to wrap this up with you, Art. Let's see. Jennifer said, "Am I not special?" Ajay, Jennifer, you were very special. That was real funny too. I had a fun time when she said, "They talk good just like you." And little did they know, number one, I trained Trey. Number two, I said, "My mama said ain't nobody sound like me." had to tap in my Southern there. So, all right, I'm gonna give. Somebody just asked, how often do you host this Zoom? Jay, never. This is the first time I've ever done this, and I don't know if it'll be the last. So, it sounded like a fun idea, so I wanted to do that. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm having a good time. Are you guys enjoying this? Like, is this valuable stuff that you like? Okay.
Oh, it helped me with my Indian crew as well.
Yeah, I can't promise that, but
No, I tried it. Just like making your infectious jokes, like telling jokes and laughing at your own jokes hysterically. I
Yeah.
did the same. I immediately got off this call. I picked up, did the same thing with a guy, and now we have a second call scheduled. And he hangs up on everyone if they don't give him a price. So thank you.
Let's go. You're very welcome. I love to hear that. All right. Well, hey, let's give Larry a call back. My brain's blurring. I'm going to read through the transcript. Did I learn anything about him? He was married for over 40 years, Lower Alabama vacations. Got it. Okay. I always need the person in my brain. So I'm sure you guys have noticed too, like I changed my tonality and my speed and everything based on who I'm chatting with, right? I'm trying to meet them at their speed. I'm trying to meet them at their tone. I'm trying to be as warm as they are. I'm trying to lean in or lean out depending on where they are. So all a bunch of little stuff in there. Joel asked, is this being recorded? it is on my Fireflies. I haven't decided if I'm going to post it anywhere. I think my private clients will probably have access to the recording in our inner circle Skool community. I don't know if I'll post it anywhere publicly, transparently. There's like maybe some risk with me calling sellers and posting that stuff, which is why I don't do it all the time. But also, I'm like a very small person on the grand scheme of the internet. So like, I don't know that I really care that much. I feel like my worst case scenario is I get a cease and desist and I have to take a video down. And if that's like the worst thing that happens, so be it. But anyways, okay. Arturo, I'm going to give this guy a call. If you are not on mute, please go on mute. Let's see if we can get Mr. Larry back on the horn. No promises, but we're going to try our best.
This is Larry Anderson. Sorry, Mr. Cal. Just leave me a message and I'll get back to you. Thanks.
Hey, Larry, it's Ajay just circling back here. I think Wesley was having a little bit of trouble getting through, and so I just wanted to give you a quick ring and see if we could walk through the agreement together. Give me a holler back at this number when you get a chance. Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, so I don't want to scare this guy off, so I'm not going to double dial, triple dial him here. Arturo, I've got a question for you in the agreement, though. I'm looking at it, and I do see your EMD is $127. Is that on purpose?
Let's say that starts from 127 and arrives at 1,000. Normally, up until 50,000 is 127 or 157. Yes.
Okay, it's a very weird number.
Yeah.
I would encourage you to just swap that out for like $500, man. I feel like I don't usually. Sometimes I just won't include EMD, and then if people want it, I'll throw in $500. But I feel like if I saw this, I'd be like, "What the heck?"
Okay.
Yeah. Is that an intentional thing? Is that like a pattern disruptor, or why do you do that?
Yeah, there is like a formula that as soon as I put it, according to the offer that goes out, it assigns the EMD automatically, and 127 is up until $50,000 is that's from 30,000 to 50,000 is 127.
Okay, got it.
I think that after after 200,000 is just 1% of the offer that is going out.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, I will change it. You're
Yeah,
right.
I just don't know if that's what's scaring them off.
Well, I know normally sometimes when it happens that they ask to increase, we can increase. Sometimes we can do also increase and make it non-refundable under the right circumstances. I mean, if the due diligence is okay and we run from the deal, we can make it non-refundable so that they feel a kind of safe in a safe position. But in this case, I don't think it was the EMD. This guy answers, looks like a good guy and look like, but it's more than a month that is doing exactly this.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, well, let's stay on him. We're at 4 o'clock, so I know we only did like 3 or 4 calls here, but one of them took almost an hour. Again, it's so funny booking these because I almost never want to do like a call session for 60 minutes because that could be one phone call. You know what I mean? And I need enough leads to go on. If you guys in the community feel like this was like a big value add, like Arturo, okay, so regardless how this plays out, man, if you get the deal, I would love for you to make 50 grand. If you don't, do you feel like this was still like a valuable thing for you?
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Sweet.
Great. It was awesome. I mean, every time, but this in particular, see you working the leads, and I took notes. I'm sure that Wes took notes.
Sweet.
So it's incredibly useful. It's not just about the result. I mean, it's just about seeing you doing
For
the
sure,
stuff.
for sure. I would also love to get the result because
Yeah,
again, I like to say all my clients get an ROI very quickly. It's even more impactful if we get one and I'm like, hey, I literally closed a deal for you where you made 50 grand. You know what I mean? So that's fun. I will not commit to doing more of these, but knowing people got good value out of it, I have fun on this. I'm not gonna lie. I will softly commit to doing another one. This is fun. We had like 85 people on here, which is cool. So I'll close out with this. If you're not in the inner circle and you're interested, we're raising prices basically next week after the end of the month. So drop something in, email me, reach out to Kaylee, hit up Jacob. That'll be good. Land Scaling Summit, September 19th and 20th. I know a bunch of you that are on here are going to be there. Arturo, you're coming. Catherine, you'll be there.
I will try to be there directly from the masterclass 1 month in Dallas and be there. We'll
Sweet,
try to.
man. We'll get to hang out when you're in DFW then, all right? So we'll get some dinner together or something, man. I'll take you to my favorite steakhouse out here. So we'll have a good time. But yeah, guys, appreciate everybody that came on. Hope to see you all at the Land Scaling Summit, September 19th and 20th. If you're interested in both you and your team getting trained up on acquisitions, this is what I do, and it's a lot of fun. So holler at me. But thanks for joining, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
You got it. Thanks.